Welcome back to our weekly vendor review where we review all 3 vendors that change their wares on Tuesday, starting in the Scholarium to see what scripts are new.
Chroniclers in the main.
First up, we have Bound Affix Script Brittle, adds Brittle, a debuff increasing critical damage taken. Bound Affix Script Heroism, adds Heroism, a buff increasing ultimate generation. Bound Focus Script Knockback, adds a knockback. And Bound Signature Script Gladiator's Tenacity, adds damage reduction. Alright, we're going to head over to the Imperial City next for the Telvar Merchant. Alright, now we're in Imperial Sewers. Let's see what Here's the Stone has.
It's not like...
First up, we have the Dark Convergence Jewelry, which is a really nice PvP set, just in time for White Strike's Mayhem. Next up, we have Northern Elsewhere Treasure Map. At 6,000 Telvar, I definitely think this is better off gotten at a guild trader. But if you're curious, Northern Elsewhere brings us Call of the Undertaker, Crafty Elfique, and Vesture of Darlek Bray. The maps also have a potential of dropping 1 of 4 book furnishings if you know the eidetic memory of those 4 books. If you're not sure how that works, there's a link down below. Our scripts, first up, Bound Affix Script Courage, adds Courage, a buff increasing weapon and spell damage. Bound Focus Script Dispel, adds a Dispel. And Bound Signature Script Crusader's Defiance, adds removal of debilitating effects. Our next jewelry is Coward's Gear. Now, I happen to love Coward's Gear for my Mat Gatherer character. This is my speed character. It's not meant for combat. At least not my character build is not. All right, next up is Fragment of the Fate Eater. This is part of the Force Shock Wild Burn skill style. Fate Eater comes from the Westweald World Boss Broken Path Cave. Remember, this is a guaranteed drop your first time completing it. But if you're not able to find a group to take on the Westweald World Boss, it is here for 5,000 Telvar. Our leads. First up is Ancestor Samite Sash from Crypt Can Investments. This one drops from Telvanni Peninsula daily reward boxes from doing just those daily quests. Crypt Can Investment works really well with Mechanical Acuity in a 4-person dungeon, so not a bad lead to try to get. Our second lead is Fanged Cuirass, part of Bloodlord's Embrace, and this one comes from the Shadowfen public dungeon Sanguine's Demence from any boss. Looks like that's it. Let's head over to Infinite Archive. All right, let's see what Filer Ool has for us in Infinite Archive.
I would sell you a map of...
First up, Grotwood Treasure Maps at 2,000 archival fortunes. It's definitely better to get these off of traders. However, Grotwood brings us Green Pact, Ranger's Gate, Sirabane's Grip, and potential for leads for either Ancestral High Elf Boots or Maces. Our scripts, first up is Bound Affix Script Protection, adds Protection, a buff reducing damage taken. Bound Focus Script Disease Damage, adds Disease Damage. And Bound Signature Script Assassin's Misery, adds improved use of status effects. Next we have the Dama House Mask. This one comes out of Falkreath Hold. The hard mode in there is not horrible. When this style page drops, you have a better chance of getting it if you have the hard mode achievement. But again, that's not super difficult, but the drop rate on these is still atrocious, so feel free to spend your 15,000 archival fortunes. Next up, Companion Equipment Weapons. I typically don't recommend these. You're at the mercy of RNG as to what trait you get, and they are bound, so you are stuck with whatever you get. Erroneous Archive Map. Consume 20 Erroneous Archive Maps to unlock the Walk Through the Mirror Maze achievement and the Shattered Mirror Maze body marks. Here are the Shattered Mirror Maze body marks. At 7,000 archival fortunes, when you need 20 of them, this gets awfully expensive, but if you're only missing 1 or 2, go for it. Our leads, Great Eltheric Pearl. This is for Pearls of El Nofi, which is a meta healer set. This one in particular drops from the Crypt of Hearts 2 final boss. Not a super difficult one to get, but it's RNG, so there you go. All right, next up, lead Rust Funnel Cap Paint. This is for the Spore Savant body marks. This is the one that looks like mushrooms all over. This one drops from Bastionymic chest, specifically the Hermaeus Mora mini boss chest. Thankfully, you only need to get it once, and then you need 6 other fragments to get your body marks. Let's get books for now. 6 House Taylor's Bell. This is one of 7 parts of the 6 House robe costume, dropping out of Forgotten Waste public dungeon in Vardenfell. They have increased the drop rate of all of these fragments. They're pretty easy to get. 7,000 archival fortunes is pretty spendy when you can get them on traders for 1.2 to 1.5k on PCNA. But it is here if you want it. And then Slayer's Almalexia deck fragment, which is part of the Almalexia deck. This one comes from defeating world bosses in Telvanni Peninsula. All right, our books. On Cypher's Midden, we have seen this one before, but it was back in June of last year. This one drops an Infinite Archive, and the eidetic memory is from Apocrypha. And then Our Dunmer Heritage. We have not seen this one before that I'm aware of. And it also drops an Infinite Archive, and the eidetic memory is in Telvanni Peninsula. Okay, let's run some Infinite Archive and see what gear is dropping this week. All right, we just ran a couple arcs of Infinite Archive, and it looks like this week we have Starter Zone gear, which is just Rainy set, dropping, as well as gear from Southern Elsewhere. That's Dragon Guard Elite, Marauder's Haste, and Senchal Defender. That's going to do it for this time. We'll see you in the next one.